Iggy, as commonly referred to among his peers, is one of the people who are proud to have a long list of names.
Ignatius Oliver Alinda Ayebare Nkesiga.
As Ignatius grew up, it became hard to use all his 5 names. He uses only 3 of them for official purposes and keeps the rest under wraps.
Modern world, people don't have time to listen to all those names of your grandparents and that everyone threw you, so you just keep it simple. Ignatius is already a mouthful, so I just keep it at that.
Sometimes, because of the idea of having to shelve his middle names, Ignatius has found himself in a conflict of identity.
I needed to collect money from Western Union, and I had forgotten even about my other 2 names. So I went there as Ignatius Oliver Nkesiga, and they refused to give me the money. Yeah, so I even thought of the importance of my other names as well.
Many of us are not any different from Ignatius. Reverend John Musa is another example. He has 4 names but prefers to use only 2.
What you'd call my third name, people really struggle to pronounce it, Lako. They either say Lacho or Lake, and those have completely different meanings. So I would just say John Musa because those ones are easy to pronounce. So
there is no measure as to how many names one should have. However, the ideal is that one requires at least a first and surname. Over the years, there has developed the notion of the middle name or names, which many times end up unused.
Now, the middle name is the name that your parents would often give to you. Maybe your parents looked at you. Sometimes it was an English name, sometimes it was a traditional name, but that was the name that the parents wanted to give to you.
Reverend John Musa, who is also the pastor in charge of youth and children at All Saints Cathedral in Kampala, says many parents do not actually intend to give their children middle names, but the children acquire them at baptism.
Many parents will insist and say, no, I want this name for my child. But because some of the priests or the churches have issues with some of their names, they will baptize you with the name that they are comfortable with. And you as an individual, you are free to continue to hold on to that name, but that name is not recorded on your baptism certificate, for instance.
Many times, according to Reverend John Musa, parents and their children silence the name given at baptism, for that they hold close to their hearts. Such circumstances often come with the dilemma of what names either parents want to give their children, a scenario that gets many children hold more than 2 names. There are a range of reasons why later in life many people bear middle names but do not use them.
Sometimes you're given a name, and as you grow up you realize, wait a minute, this name probably has very funny connotations.
And Western names are not really appreciated, so in a way that no one is going to pronounce them the way they are straightly. So for better reasons and for better purposes, you give them the short names.
When I was just starting, my teacher used my baptist card, and there was only 2 names.
You know, when I was growing up, my understanding was Kato is a surname. Only to grow up and I'm told, you see, that is a title, it's not a name. So what is your real name? My real name would be Kawesa Isa. Kato is a title.
There are quite a number of notable figures who chose to silence some of their names. Inspector General of Police Kale Kaihura is, for example, called Edward. FDC presidential candidate Dr. Kiza Besigye Chifefe is also called Warren. Justice Minister Kahinda Otafire is Severino. Gertrude Tumusime Uitkware, NTV.